you guys, we have a very exciting blonde. As you can tell, I'm going to be showing you guys how I am doing this beautiful bright blonde. We didn't do any low lights or a root smudge or anything like that. We just did highlights and obviously gloss. So let's get into it. Also, I didn't realize that part of my tripod was in the frame until like a few minutes after I started filming. So it goes away right now. As you guys can tell, I'm working with my assistant Natalie, and she is working on the back of the head. She's doing more of a traditional highlight, some teasy lights as well, and I am working on the sides and the money piece. This video isn't really about the money piece or so much like the sides above the ears, so if you guys want a more in-depth video on how I do that, let me know and I can definitely film a more in-depth video showing you exactly what I do. But it just kind of depends from client to client on how I do my money piece. Typically, I like to do at least 2 slices and then a few baby lights after that. And that's what I did here because, again, she's a bright blonde. And then I'm doing the tip outs after I did the sides and the money piece. But again, if you guys want a more in-depth video, I will be happy to film that. I just didn't film a ton of that on this client because I really wanted to focus on the mohawk. Currently, I work with 3 different assistants and they've all recently told me that they've foiled in a mohawk recently. And even though they don't usually do that because of me, they wanted to try it. And I'm telling you guys, I love doing this mohawk section. It just really helps with customizing blondes. I can see the way I low light better with blondes. It's just a lot easier for me, and I feel like I get really close to the root. I feel like my saturation is always good, and I feel like it just always makes the grow out so much better. Obviously, you could go up the sides of the head if you were doing like a platinum card, but most of my clients are pretty dimensional and pretty low maintenance, so a mohawk just helps that grow out better. Now what I'm doing is pivoting to the back and kind of meeting in the middle, which I'll show you guys how I do that in a second. This really helps, especially because I am only 5'3", so I can't really get to the very top of the head. So I like to start in the front, again in the money piece, the sides area, and then I will pivot into the back once I really can't reach anymore, or once I'm on my tippy toes, if I'm being honest, and just continue the same thing. In the back, I will do a more traditional styled highlight. Again, it just adds dimension. It just makes everything have some pop of your natural color in it. Whereas like the front money piece, all that kind of stuff, those are perfect for baby lights and not so much of these thicker highlights. But as you can see, my sectioning is still really good. It's got good saturation. So the lift is definitely still there. I feel like everybody's always scared to do a chunkier highlight, especially since we've gotten so accustomed to baby lights and really fine sections. But sometimes you can't be scared of a thicker highlight, especially if you are doing like custom blonding. Again, that's just being a blonde specialist, knowing when to do a thicker highlight, when to not do a thicker highlight, and when to do a baby light. So when you're starting to meet in the middle from front of the head to the back of the head, you really need to pay attention to your sections. So this is the last section that I'm doing with more of that traditional highlight. And I don't want to just keep doing little baby lights here, or else I will get one big solid highlight. So what I'm doing is taking a subsection and then I'm doing one more traditional highlight, and that subsection is going to leave some dimension so you're not left with meeting the baby light in the front with the more traditional highlight in the back, because that way it will be a chunk. And then once I get done with the mohawk, I just kind of take all of the sides that are left out on the ends and I will do a tip out. I love doing this. I think it just makes the blonde so much better. It makes everything pop. And it just keeps everything looking fresh all over. If you're not doing tip outs, I'm telling you, just start doing them, babe. They are so good. And my number 1 tip is to do the tip outs with the section you're foiling. So you want to do the tip outs with the side section once you finish the sides, do the tip out on the top once you finish the top, that kind of stuff. So that way it all processes evenly. Okay, now we are shampooing, and I'm going to put the gloss here on the screen for you guys. It was absolutely so perfect, so stunning. And here is her after, bright, beautiful. I just loved how this color turned out, and I hope you guys enjoyed.